Let yourself grow still now. There is nothing more the day needs from you. Whatever it asked of you is over, finished, set down behind you like shoes left by a door, and you do not have to carry any of it into the dark. You can let your shoulders soften. You can let your hands fall open. You can let your breath grow slow and deep and quiet, the way the mist settles low into a mountain valley when the light goes out of the sky. Listen, if you like, but you do not have to listen closely. The story I will tell you tonight is a gentle one, and it is very old, and it moves as slowly as cloud moving along a high green ridge. You do not need to remember any of it. You do not need to follow every word. The words are only a soft path laid down through the dark for you to wander along until you fall asleep. And you are welcome to fall asleep whenever you wish. If your mind drifts, let it drift. If your thoughts wander off the path and into the trees, let them wander. That is exactly what this quiet hour is for. Tonight we go to a country of mountains, far away and long ago. A country where the hills rise in soft blue ranges, fold behind fold, until the farthest ones are only the palest shapes against the sky. A country where pine forests climb the slopes, dark and fragrant, and where the mist gathers in the valleys at dusk and lies there all the long night, soft as breath, soft as sleep. This is a very old land, and it has a very old story about how its first kingdom came to be. And the story begins not on the earth at all, but high above it, in the bright country of heaven. For tonight you should know that long, long ago, before there were kingdoms, before there were kings, before the first stone was set upon stone, there was a wide and shining heaven above the world. And in that heaven lived a ruler of the sky, and that ruler had a son. The son was a heavenly prince, and his name was Hwanung. He had everything that a prince of heaven might have, all the light and the ease and the peace of the high, bright country, and he wanted for nothing at all. And yet, as you will see, he often turned his gaze downward, away from the brightness, toward the green and misted world below. But that is for the story to tell, slowly, in its own gentle time. For now, there is nothing for you to do but settle and grow heavy, and let the mountains rise around you in your mind, soft and blue and far away. Let the mist come down into the valleys. Let the pines stand dark and still. Let your breathing slow to the slow breathing of the hills. The story will carry itself. You have only to rest and to let yourself be carried with it, down and down toward sleep. Stay a while in the high country of heaven where the story begins. There is no hurry to come down to earth. We can rest here first, in the bright and peaceful place where Hwanung lived. Imagine a heaven of soft, clear light, where nothing is harsh and nothing is hurried. The halls of the sky ruler were wide and calm, and the days there did not press or pull the way days press and pull below. There was no hunger in that country, and no cold, and no fear. Everything that a heart could want was already given, already there, and the great ones of heaven lived in a long, untroubled ease, like a still lake that no wind ever crosses. And among them moved the prince, Hwanung, the son of the sky ruler, young and bright and kind. He should have been content. He had been born into the very middle of all that peace. And yet there was in him a quiet restlessness, the gentlest kind, not unhappy, only longing. For Hwanung had a habit, in the still hours, of going to the edge of heaven and looking down. He would lean at the bright rim of the sky, and gazed through the drifting clouds at the wide world far below. The green world of mountains and rivers and forests, and as he looked, something in him would stir and reach. It was not that heaven was lacking. It was that the world below seemed to him to be wanting something. He saw the great mountains standing in their midst, and the rivers winding bright through the valleys, and the forests breathing slow and dark upon the slopes. And he saw that it was beautiful, but he saw too that it was untended. There was no one below to care for it, to bless it, to help the green things grow, and the creatures thrive, and the seasons turn kindly. The world was lovely, and it was alone, the way a garden is lovely and alone before anyone has come to love it. And the more Hwanung looked down, the more he felt a wish rise in him, soft and steady as a spring filling a stone basin. He wished to go down. He wished to leave the easy brightness of heaven and walk in that green and misted world and tend it, not to rule it for himself, not to take anything from it, but to give to it, to bring it the gifts of heaven, to help it become as good and as gentle as it could be. It was the wish of a kind heart that has more than it needs and longs to share. It was the wish to be of use to something beautiful. Now the sky ruler, his father, watched his son lean at the edge of heaven day after day, gazing down. And being wise, and being a father, he understood the longing in him before Hwanung ever spoke it aloud. He saw that his son's heart was set, gently but truly, upon the world below, and he did not scold him for it, and he did not try to hold him back. A wise father knows when a longing is a good one. So one day he came and stood beside his son at the bright rim of the sky, and looked down with him at the green and waiting world and asked him softly whether he wished to go. Feel for a moment the kindness of that. The father did not wait to be begged. He saw the wish in his child and came to meet it. There is a deep ease in being seen like that, in being understood before you have even found the words. Let that ease settle over you now, in the dark. The feeling of being known and met with gentleness. You do not have to explain yourself tonight. You do not have to ask for anything. Whatever you long for is already understood and met and held. Rest in that. The way Hwanung rested in his father's understanding. While the story moves on, slow and tender, toward the descent, so the sky ruler looked down upon the world with his son and chose, with care, the place where Hwanung should go. He looked across all the green earth, across its many mountains and its many valleys, searching for the place that was best, the place where his son might do the most good and bring the most blessing. And his gaze came at last to rest upon a tall and beautiful mountain, rising high among its fellows, crowned with mist, clothed in dark pine, with clear streams falling down its sides and wide good lands lying open at its feet. It was Mount Taebaek, the great white mountain, and the sky ruler saw that it was good, that from such a high and lovely place his son might bless the whole world below. And so it was chosen. Then the father gave to his son the things he would need. He gave him 3 heavenly treasures, 3 sacred tokens of his right to rule and to bless, signs that he came down not as a wanderer, but as a prince of heaven sent with the blessing of heaven. The old tellers do not always agree on what the 3 treasures were, but they say they were objects of power and of holiness, gifts from the sky to be carried down to the earth. And more than this, the father granted that Hwanung should not go down alone. He gave him a company, 3,000 of the people of heaven. a great, gentle host to come down with their prince and help him in his work of tending the world. And so the descent began. Picture it as softly as you can, for there was nothing fierce in it, nothing sudden. It was not a falling. It was a slow and gentle coming down, like snow coming down, like mist coming down, like the light coming down at the soft end of the day. Down from the bright rim of heaven came Hwanung and his 3,000 and the three treasures, sinking slowly through the high, clean air toward the white mountain far below. They came down upon the summit of Mount Taebaek, and there, on the very crown of the mountain, stood a great and ancient tree. It was a sandalwood tree, the old tellers say, tall and spreading and fragrant, the holiest tree upon the holiest peak. And it was beneath this tree that Hwanung set his feet upon the earth at last. Imagine him standing there, the heavenly prince newly come down, the mist drifting through the dark pines around him, the great sandalwood tree spreading its branches over his head, the wide world falling away green and blue below him on every side. He had wished to come, and now he had come. And beneath the holy tree on the white mountain he made his place. He named that place the sacred city, the city of the gods, the high green seat from which he would tend the world. And around the great sandalwood tree his 3,000 made their dwelling, and the work of blessing the earth could begin. But there is no need to begin it yet, not in this slow hour. For now, let it be enough that the prince has come down, gently, softly, the way you yourself are coming down now, sinking slowly out of the bright loud day and into the quiet dark. Let yourself descend as Hwanung descended, without haste, without fear, drifting down like mist toward the still green place where you will rest. There is a tree waiting to spread its branches over you. There is a high, quiet seat prepared. You have only to keep sinking, slow and soft, toward the ground of sleep. Now Hwanung was come down to the world, and beneath the great sandalwood tree, he set himself to the gentle work he had longed for. And it is a soothing thing, the work he did. So let yourself follow it slowly, the way you might follow the slow turning of the seasons from a warm window. With him out of heaven he had brought 3 great helpers, 3 spirits to govern the soft powers of the sky, and these are the heart of his blessing upon the world. He brought the Earl of Wind, who had the keeping of the moving air. He brought the Master of Rain, who had the keeping of the falling water. And he brought the Master of Cloud, who had the keeping of the drifting mist and the gathered gray of the sky. Wind and rain and cloud, the 3 soft hands of heaven that tend all growing things. With these 3 at his side, Hwanung began to care for the world. Think of what those 3 gifts mean to a green and living land, and let the thought move slowly through you. The wind came at his bidding, soft and steady, to move the air through the forests, to carry the seeds of the trees and the grasses out across the open ground, to stir the dark pines so they breathed and swayed and did not stand stale and still. A gentle wind, the kind that cools a warm afternoon and carries the smell of rain from far off, the kind that loosens the last leaf and lifts the first seed. The world breathed because the wind moved through it, and the wind moved at the word of the prince beneath the tree, and the rain came at his bidding too, soft and slow and welcome, falling on the high slopes and the low fields alike. It filled the streams that fell down the sides of Mount Taebaek. It soaked into the dark, good earth and woke the seeds that slept there. It washed the dust from the pine needles and filled the hollows of the stones, and ran down at last into the rivers and away to the distant sea. There is no sound in all the world so restful as soft rain, falling steady in the dark. And that was the gift Hwanung gave. The long, gentle rains that make a land green and make it kind. And the cloud came at his bidding, the cloud and the mist, drifting down into the valleys at evening, lying soft along the ridges, hiding the high peaks, and then unveiling them, gathering gray and full before the rain, and then breaking soft and golden after. The cloud was the breath of the land made visible, the slow-moving veil that softened every hard thing and made the mountains look like a dream of mountains, like the mountains you might see with your eyes already half closed, fading and returning through the drifting mist, wind, rain, and cloud. With these three soft powers, Hwanung tended the whole world from his high green seat. He saw to the grain, that it might grow and ripen and feed the creatures of the earth. He saw to the seasons, that they might turn kindly, one gently into the next. He saw, the old tellers say, to many things, to the keeping of order and the easing of sickness and the settling of what was troubled. But at the heart of it all were the three soft hands of the sky, the wind and the rain and the cloud, moving slow and steady over a world made green and good beneath them. And there was a slow rhythm to it all, the kind of rhythm that soothes the heart simply to think of. The wind in the morning, fresh off the high cold peaks, carrying the night's last mist away down the valleys. The rain in the afternoon, gathering gray and full and then loosing itself soft and steady over the thirsty green slopes. The cloud at evening, drifting back down to fold the world in for the night, lying along the ridges where it had lain the night before and the night before that, in the long, unbroken peace of a land well tended. Nothing was forced, nothing was hurried. Each gift came in its own good time, the way the seasons come, the way the morning comes, the way sleep itself comes when it is not chased but only waited for. And the creatures of the world thrived beneath that gentle care. The deer moved soft through the dripping forests. The birds nested in the well-watered trees. The grain stood tall and golden in the open lands at the foot of the mountain, and ripened and was good. Hwanung looked out upon all of it from his high green seat beneath the sandalwood tree, and he saw that the world he had longed to tend was becoming, slowly, day by day, as good and as gentle as he had wished it to be. And he was content, with the deep contentment of one who was doing the very thing he was made to do, asking nothing back, only giving, and watching the green world grow kind beneath his giving. And so the days passed beneath the sandalwood tree, slow and full and peaceful. The wind moved, the rain fell, the cloud drifted down and lifted and drifted down again, and the world grew green and gentle under the care of the heavenly prince, who had wished only to give, and now gave freely, and was content. Let that contentment be yours now, the deep ease of a world being well tended, while you yourself do nothing at all. The wind is moving for you, the rain is falling for you, the cloud is drifting soft down into the valley of your sleep. You have only to lie still beneath it all and let it tend you, and let yourself drift down like the cloud into the dark. Now into this green and well-tended world, beneath the high seat of Hwanung, there come two creatures, and with them the story turns toward its tender heart. So gather yourself softly and listen, For these two are the ones the whole tale has been waiting for. In a deep cave on the side of the mountain, in the dark of the pine forest, there lived together a bear and a tiger. They were creatures of the wild green world, strong and clever in their own ways, and they lived as the wild things live. In the shadow of the great rocks, beneath the breathing pines, near to the high place where the heavenly prince kept his seat, and both of them, the bear and the tiger, had come to know of Hwanung. They had seen the blessing he brought to the world, the kind wind and the welcome rain, and they had come to long for something they could not have. For the bear and the tiger wished, with all their hearts, to become human. The old tellers do not say exactly why, only that the wish was deep in them, a great and patient longing. Perhaps they had watched the gentleness of the heavenly people and wished to share in it. Perhaps they longed for the warmth of a hearth, for words, for the soft and upright life of those who walk on 2 feet beneath the sky. Whatever the root of it, the wish was true, and the wish was strong, and day after day, the bear and the tiger would come to the foot of the great sandalwood tree, and there they would pray and beg and plead that Hwanung might make them human. Imagine them there, the great brown bear and the bright striped tiger, kneeling in their own animal way beneath the holy tree, lifting up their longing to the prince upon his high seat. It is a tender thing to picture 2 wild creatures who do not have the words for their own wish, pressing close to the holy place, asking and asking, with whatever asking they could make, to be changed, to be lifted, to be made into something gentler than they were. And Hwanung looked down upon them, and he heard their longing, and his kind heart was moved. He did not laugh at them, and he did not turn them away. He saw that their wish was real, and he saw, too, that such a change is no small thing, that to be lifted from the wild life of the forest into the upright life of a human being is a great and difficult passage, not to be given lightly, not to be given without proving. For a wish, however deep, must sometimes be tested, not to make it harder, but to make it ready. And so Hwanung thought how he might answer them, and he found a way that was both a gift and a trial. A door that stood open but asked something of those who would pass through it. He came down to them, the old tellers say, or he called them close, and he gave them what they would need. He gave them a bundle of sacred mugwort, the bitter green herb that grows wild on the hills, and he gave them 20 cloves of garlic, sharp and pale and strong. And he told them the way that they must go if they truly wished to become human. Here is the door, he told them. Here is what is asked. Take these and go into the cave, into the dark, and eat only this, the mugwort and the garlic, and stay out of the light of the sun. Keep to the dark and keep to the bitter food, and endure for 100 days. Do this and bear it to the end, and you shall come out of the cave no longer beast, but human. 100 days in the dark, on bitter herbs out of the sun. It was not a cruel thing he asked, but it was a hard thing, a long thing, a thing that would ask everything of patience and of will. And the bear and the tiger took the mugwort and the garlic, and they turned together toward the dark mouth of the cave to begin. Let the quiet of that beginning settle over you now. The 2 creatures stepping out of the bright world into the deep dark, carrying their bitter food and their great hope, going down into the patient dark exactly as you are going down now, away from the light, into the long, still, healing dark of sleep. So the bear and the tiger went into the cave together, and the long trial began. And this is the slow, still heart of the night. So let yourself go slow and still along with it. The cave was deep and dark and quiet. Its mouth opened on the green world and the bright sun, but its inner reaches went back into the cool stone dark where no light came. And there the two creatures made their place. They had their bundle of bitter mugwort and their 20 cloves of sharp garlic. And they had the word of the prince that if they could keep to the dark and the bitter food for 100 days, they would come out human. And so they settled down, the bear and the tiger, side by side in the patient dark, to wait and to endure. At first, perhaps, it did not seem so hard. The dark was cool, and the cave was still, and the great hope was fresh and bright in both of them. They ate the bitter herbs, sharp and strange upon the tongue, and they kept back from the bright mouth of the cave, and they waited. The light moved across the world, outside, day into night into day, and inside the cave, the bear and the tiger lay quiet in the dark, holding to their hope, letting the slow days pass. But 100 days is a long, long time to lie in the dark on bitter food, out of the warm sun, away from the green world and the open air. And as the days passed, the trial began to weigh. The tiger, you must understand, was a creature of the bright and restless kind, made for the chase, made for the open hunt, made to move swift and free beneath the sky. The dark of the cave pressed on him. The bitter food wearied him. The stillness chafed at his restless heart. And the longing for the sun and the open forest and the warm taste of the life he knew grew in him, day by day, stronger than the longing that had brought him into the dark. The bear was of another kind. The bear was a creature who knew the dark already, who knew the long sleep of the cold season, who knew how to be still, how to wait, how to fold herself down into patience and let the slow time pass. The bitter food was bitter to her too, and the dark was long for her too, and the longing for the sun pulled at her too. But she had it in her to endure. She had it in her to hold to the one thing she wanted through all the slow, hard days, to keep her heart fixed quietly on the far end of the 100 days, and to let everything else, the hunger and the dark and the weariness, simply pass through her and away. And so, as the days wore on, the two began to part. The tiger grew more and more restless, more and more weary, until at last the longing for his old free life overcame the longing to be changed. He could not bear the dark any longer. He could not stay. And one day, the old tellers say, the tiger rose up and went to the mouth of the cave and out into the bright world, back to the open forest and the warm sun and the life he had always known. He did not become human. He was not made for that long stillness, and there is no blame in it, for not every creature is made for the same path. He simply went back, gently, to the wild green life that was his, and the cave was quiet behind him. But the bear stayed. The bear remained in the patient dark, alone now, eating her bitter food, keeping out of the sun, holding to her hope through the long, slow days. And this is the thing to rest your whole heart upon tonight, the deep, quiet patience of the bear in the dark. She did not rush. She did not despair. She did not need the change to come quickly. She only stayed and endured and let the days pass over her one by one, trusting that if she could simply remain, simply keep to the dark and the bitter food and the waiting, then, in time, in the fullness of time, what she longed for would come. Think of how the days must have passed for her, there in the deep dark. no morning to wake to, for the dark was always the same. No task that called to her, for there was nothing to do but be. The light came and went at the far mouth of the cave, a pale gray coming and a pale gray going, and she marked the days only dimly, only by that faint far change, while she lay in the cool stone dark and let the time move through her. She ate her bitter food when the hunger came. She drew back from the light when the longing for it rose. And otherwise, she simply rested, folded down into the patient dark, the way she had rested through so many long, cold seasons before, trusting the dark, at home in it, letting it hold her while the slow change gathered in her, like water gathering drop by drop in a deep stone well. There is a deep wisdom in a creature that knows how to wait. The bear did not measure the days against her wish and grow bitter that the wish had not yet come. She did not lie awake counting all that was still before her. She let each day be only itself, only one quiet dark day, and she let it pass. And then she let the next one be only itself, and let it pass. And so the 100 days went by her, not as one great unbearable weight, but as 100 small bearable dark nights. Each one survived simply by staying still inside it. That is how all long things are born. One quiet hour at a time, and the bear knew it in her deep, patient bones. Feel how restful that is. The patience of the bear. There is nothing to do but stay. There is nothing to force, nothing to hurry, nothing to chase. The change does not come from striving. It comes from staying. It comes from lying still in the dark and letting the slow time do its slow, quiet work. You are in such a dark now, the soft, healing dark of the night, and you have only to do what the bear did, to stay, to settle, to let the hours pass over you without grasping at them, trusting that the rest you long for will come of itself if you simply remain. Let yourself be the patient bear. Let the dark be kind. Let the slow time carry you. The bear endured. Through all the long 100 days, alone in the dark, on the bitter food, out of the sun, she endured. And so the story comes to its gentlest wonder, and you may let it wash over you, soft as warm water. Day after day, the bear lay in the patient dark, and the change she longed for came not all at once, but slowly, so slowly that she could not have said when it began. As the long days passed and her patience held, the bitter herbs and the dark and the stillness worked their quiet work upon her, and something in her began, deep and slow, to turn. Her shape began to soften and to alter. The wild bear nature in her began to ease away, like mist lifting from a valley, and another nature, a gentler one, began to rise in its place. She did not strive for it. It came to her as a gift comes, freely, in the fullness of the time she had so patiently kept. And when the 100 days were ended, when the long trial was at last complete, the one who came out of the cave into the green world and the soft light was no longer a bear at all. She was a woman. The old tellers gave her a name, and it is a tender name, for it holds her whole story in it. They called her Ungnyeo, which means the woman who was a bear, the bear woman, the one who came patiently out of the dark and the wild and was made human by her own deep endurance. Ungnyeo, who had longed and waited and stayed and been changed. Imagine her stepping out of the mouth of the cave for the first time into the world she had longed for, the soft sun upon her face after the long dark, the green of the forest and the blue of the far mountains. the wind that Hwanung had given to the world moving gentle through the pines, and the smell of rain on the way, and the drifting cloud coming down soft into the valleys. She stood upright now, beneath the wide sky. A woman, with a woman's two hands, and a woman's seeing eyes, and a woman's heart. And all of it had come to her through patience, through the long, quiet endurance of the dark. What she had wished for, she had won, not by force, but by faithfulness. And yet, the old tellers say, even now there was a loneliness in her, for she was new in the human world, and she was the only one of her kind, the only one who had come this strange way out of the wild into the human shape. She walked beneath the great sandalwood tree, in the place that Hwanung had made holy, and she was glad, and she was changed. And yet her heart was not wholly full, for she had no one to share her new life with, no one to stand beside her beneath the wide sky. She had longed to be human, and now she was. And now she found a new and deeper longing rising in her, the longing of the human heart for company, for love, for a life made whole by being shared. So Ungnyeo did again the thing she knew how to do, the thing that had brought her this far. She went to the great sandalwood tree, the holy tree on the holy mountain, and there she stood, and she prayed. She prayed softly, out of the fullness of her patient heart, for a child. She longed to be a mother, to bring forth a new life, to have someone of her own in the world. She had come so far to enter, and she did not pray once and turn away. She prayed faithfully, day by day, beneath the spreading branches, lifting her quiet wish to heaven exactly as she had once lifted her wish to become human, with patience, with steadiness, with the deep trust of one who has learned that what is longed for truly and waited for faithfully comes at last. Let her faithfulness rest upon you now, soft as a blessing. She asked, and she waited, and she trusted. She did not seize, and she did not despair. She had learned, in the long dark of the cave, the deep secret of her whole story, that the best things come not to the one who grasps, but to the one who stays, who keeps a quiet heart, who lets the slow time bring what the slow time brings. Carry that into the deepening dark with you. Whatever your own heart longs for, you may set it down gently tonight, the way Ungnyeo set hers beneath the holy tree, and simply rest and trust, and let the patient dart do its kindly work. Ungnyeo prayed beneath the sandalwood tree for a child, faithfully, with her whole patient heart, and heaven heard her. So the story comes now to its quiet fulfillment, and you may follow it with your eyes already closing. Hwanung, the heavenly prince upon his high green seat, looked down and saw the bare woman praying beneath the holy tree, and he was moved by her, by all that she had endured, by the patience that had carried her out of the wild and into the human world, and now by the faithfulness of this new and gentle longing, and his heart turned toward her with tenderness. The old tellers say that Hwanung took a human form and came down to her beneath the sandalwood tree and made her his wife. The Prince of Heaven and the woman who had been a bear joined together beneath the holy tree on Mount Taebaek, the high and the lowly, the bright and the patient, made one. And in the fullness of time, Ungnyeo's deepest prayer was answered. She bore a son. He was a child of heaven and earth together, of the heavenly prince and the patient bear woman. And in him the two natures met and were made one, the brightness of the sky and the deep endurance of the earth. They named him Dangun. He was the child of all that long story, of Hwanung's wish to come down and tend the world, of the bear's wish to be made human, of the long, patient dark of the cave, and the long, faithful prayer beneath the tree. All of it had been moving slowly toward him. And Dangun grew. The old tellers do not linger over his childhood, but you may picture it softly, the child growing up beneath the great sandalwood tree, in the holy place on the white mountain, with the wind and the rain and the cloud moving gentle over the green world around him. The child of heaven and earth, growing strong and wise in the high, quiet seat of his father. He had in him the blessing of the sky and the patience of the deep earth, and he was made, by all his long inheritance, to do a great and gentle thing. Picture him there beneath the holy tree as the years passed over him, soft and slow. The wind moved through the pines as it had always moved, and he grew up listening to it. The rain fell on the high slopes as it had always fallen, and he grew up watching it fill the streams and soak the good dark earth. The cloud came down into the valleys at evening as it had always come, and he grew up beneath its drifting gray, a child of the misted mountain, learning without being taught the slow, gentle rhythm of a world that is well cared for. From his father, he had the bright blessing of the sky, the wish to tend and to give and to bless. From his mother, he had the deep patience of the earth, the quiet strength that waits and endures and does not grasp. And these two natures grew together in him as he grew, woven so close that they became one single gentle wholeness, the very best of heaven and the very best of earth made into one young man beneath the sandalwood tree. For when Dangun was grown, he came down from the high place, and he became the founder of the first kingdom. The old tellers say he established a city and gathered the people, and ruled over them as the very first king of that mountain land, the founder of the first kingdom that ever was in that country of soft blue ranges and misted valleys. He gave the people their first ordered life together, their first peace, their first sense of being one people under one gentle rule. And he reigned, the stories say, for a very long age. In wisdom and in kindness, the child of heaven and earth tending the world his grandfather had once leaned down from heaven to bless. And so the long story closes its circle, gently, the way a slow river comes at last to the wide and quiet sea. The heavenly prince had looked down and longed to tend the lonely world. He had come down, soft as mist, to the sandalwood tree on Mount Taebaek, and brought the wind and the rain and the cloud to make the world green and good. The patient bear had endured the long dark of the cave and been made into Ungnyeo, the gentle woman. And out of the joining of heaven and patient earth had come Dangun, the first king, the founder, in whom the whole long blessing came at last to rest upon the world. A kingdom born not of war, not of force, but of a wish to give and a wish to grow and a deep, deep patience that waited faithfully in the dark. Let that settle over you now, soft and whole and finished. Everything in the story came to its good end, gently, in its own slow time. The longing was answered, the patience was rewarded, the child was born, and the kingdom was founded, and the world was tended and blessed and at peace. There is nothing left unfinished, nothing left to worry into the dark. The whole long story has come to rest, and you may rest along with it, here in the patient dark, under the spreading branches of the holy tree, held by a tail older than the mountains. So the kingdom was founded, and the world was tended, and the long story came to its quiet rest. And now there is nothing left for the night to do but to let the mountains sleep, and to let you sleep along with them. Let your mind go up, one last gentle time, to the high white mountain, to Mount Taebaek, rising in its soft blue ranges, fold behind fold, crowned with mist, clothed in dark and fragrant pine, to the great sandalwood tree upon its summit, spreading its old branches over the holy place where heaven once came down to bless the earth. The wind that Hwanung gave is moving soft through the pines, the slow night wind, stirring the dark branches, carrying the smell of rain from far off across the ranges. The rain he gave is falling somewhere on the high slopes, gentle and steady in the dark, filling the streams, soaking the good earth, washing the world soft and clean. And the cloud he gave has come down into the valleys, lying soft and deep along the low places, hiding the streams and the sleeping fields, a slow gray blanket drawn gently over the resting land. The mountain sleeps now, under its mist and its rain and its drifting cloud. The first kingdom sleeps, its people resting in their houses in the green valleys, safe and ordered and at peace beneath the gentle rule that the child of heaven and earth gave them. The holy tree sleeps, its branches still, its old roots deep in the sacred ground, and all of it is held, the mountain and the kingdom and the tree, in the deep quiet of the night, exactly as you are held, here in your own warm dark, under your own roof, at the soft and final end of the day. There is a gentle teaching folded into this old story, and you do not have to hold it. Only let it warm you as you drift down. It is the teaching of the patient bear. The thing she longed for did not come by striving, and it did not come by force, and it did not come quickly. It came because she stayed, because she settled into the dark and endured, and let the slow time do its slow kind work, and trusted that what she longed for would come of itself in the fullness of the days. That is the secret at the heart of the whole tale, and it is the very secret of sleep. You do not chase sleep, you do not seize it, you only stay and settle and grow still, and let the patient dark carry you, the way it carried the bear, gently, faithfully, all the way to the morning of her changing. So be the patient bear now, lie still in the kindly dark. Let your breath go slow and deep, slow as the night wind moving through the pines, deep as the long rain soaking the good mountain earth. Let your body grow heavy and soft, settling down like the cloud settling into the valley, like the mist lying down at last along the low green places. There is nothing to chase tonight. There is nothing to force. The wind is moving for you. The rain is falling for you. The cloud is drifting down soft over the place where you rest, and the great tree spreads its branches over you, and the high white mountain keeps its quiet watch. The prince has come down and blessed the world. The bear has endured and been made gentle. The child of heaven and earth has founded his kingdom, and the kingdom is at peace, and the mountain sleeps under its rain and its mist. Everything is tended, everything is finished, everything is well. There is nothing left for you to do but to stay in the patient dark, and let the slow time carry you down and down, soft as mist, into the deep green quiet of sleep. Let my voice grow faint now. Let the words blur into the dark. Let yourself sink slow and warm, past the last thin edge of waking, down into the still and patient dark where everything you long for is already quietly coming to be. Sleep now. The mountain keeps its watch. The rain is soft. Good night.